Hello there, and welcome to Pilates for Pickleball. Do you have what some people call bone-on-bone knees, or you get a lot of pain in your knees when you're in a high kneeling position, or maybe even on hands and knees? I'm going to offer some alternatives for those. There's also a position called Captain Morgan, which is great for the hips, but can be a little hard on people's knees. So let's get started. This is what we in the Pilates or fitness biz call a high kneeling position. If this does not feel great on your knees, you could try lots of padding, or you could stand. Ta-da! Now, if you're flowing between, say, a high kneeling position and a quadruped or 4-point kneeling position, which looks like this, 4 points, 2 hands, 2 knees. In that case, you could come from a standing position instead of your high kneeling and have 4 points where the points are simply your feet and your hands on something. So if, for example, in a class you're doing cat and cow, and then you're going back to child's pose, you could do that. This is your quadruped or 4-point kneeling. And then if you're coming up for an exercise that's done in a high kneeling position, but for you that's going to be standing, then you just come right up to standing. If it's a position where someone wants you to put your hand on the floor, so from high kneeling to going into, for example, a side bend, then you could soften, use a countertop or a chair, the back of a chair, and use that as your floor. You're basically just lifting everything up, right? So that it's more accessible for you in a standing position. The last position I'm going to talk about is the Captain Morgan position. And that looks like this. Ta-da! So now this is a lot of load on a single knee, so that can feel not great. Again, you could pad that, or this is basically a lunge position, right? So you could come up to a lunge position and then do whatever exercises you're working there. That back heel can be down or it can be lifted. With the Captain Morgan position, your hips are pointing forward, ideally, and then this knee is a little bit bent, but you will have to adjust and just notice, what is the purpose of the exercise? If the purpose of the exercise, for example, is working on knee mobility with pressure in the foot, then this is great, easily accessible. One of the exercises we do in the Pilates for Pickleball program is coming into this position in Captain Morgan, lifting and lowering that heel, right? Working on ankle strength and foot strength. Lift the heel up, push back, and bend in there. So this can absolutely be done in a lunge position. And then the same with the high kneeling. If going from that Captain Morgan position to a side bend or placing your hands on the floor, you're just going to lift the floor up with a chair or with a countertop to bring it up for you in your standing position. The most important thing is, what is the goal of the exercise? And can you reach that in a different position? There's tons of modifications that you can make for exercises. If you have any questions, just drop them in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video.